What up, what up? It's your boy Woody, and guys, Age of Origins has just got interesting when it comes to the whole, what do you call it? The head of state. They just drop it. So what that tells me, and I'm sure everyone already knows this, is that GC is not coming again. Or not GC, but merger. Because everyone kept telling me, "Hey, is merger going to happen? Merger going to happen?" Because GC hasn't dropped, and it's that time period, so on and so forth. I've seen it everywhere, but um, I don't know if GC's coming or not, or I don't know what Camel's doing about that. But either way, I feel that nations right now, I think we have to better structure certain nations. And what I mean by structuring nations, I'm getting a lot of messages, and I mean a lot of messages, of people asking me, how do I fix this? How do I fix this person? So on and so forth. So I think it's very important that these newer nations or even older nations that are just stuck in their old ways, that we explain to them how important it is to structure your nation right. So, with that being said, I, anyone in here got a nation that's kind of little like on the edge, and they can explain what's going on. Anyone? Come on, not all your nations are perfect. If people are having problems with their mic, go ahead, T Dog.
Man, we're in 877 now.
Okay,
Oh, wait. Hey.
the cockroach nation.
Yeah, Cockroach.
Okay,
So my main got merged with my second city,
okay. I mean
and we're doing pretty
that
good.
that's pretty rare to have that happen, but I mean, congratulations on that.
I think I'm the only whale in the game that has happened to.
You know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. So let me ask you: there's no issues, right? Was there
No,
issues when you first started, like when you first got the merger? Like, was there anyone that was like,
there's a
uh,
lot of issues.
there's a
No, not
wait,
There's a lot of issues.
wait, T Dog, who is that? Who's that saying there's a lot of issues? Come on, man, come on.
Vader.
What?
her.
It's Vader.
Oh,
Vader's gonna tell you the
Vader. Okay,
Death Vader gonna tell you the truth.
So her and her man are over at me and my wife's house eating dinner,
okay.
and we just saw you come live, and I was like, "Shit, let's join Woody."
The Memorial Day whole weekend thing. I get it, dude. Barbecue and everything, right?
It's
Exactly.
not perfect. This merger's not perfect.
So what's going
I
on?
mean, it's fine.
Well,
Like
he
basically, it's basically you need better management of the alliance when it comes to events. When it comes to it, basically, what I can tell you is if there's no organization, there's nothing. You can have as many whales as you want and want an alliance organized. What the hell does it matter?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Organization
And
is
so
key.
that's where we're at. And there's just too much division where it becomes if you're friends with this person, then it matters. If you're not, then you're nothing.
Hey, but
So you can't progress because it's all about friendship and not about let's get this shit together and be a good alliance.
so far in Elite though, we are pushing almost 80 players, so it's been good. It's been very good.
Well, so what I mean by like structuring is like obviously, yeah, Elite War is perfect to have those 80 players there. But
Mhm.
to have good relationship between your first and second or third alliance, and for say, let's just say like GC does show up, and how are you going to be the like get them to where they fully show up?
Exactly. Did you see? Let me tell you right now. We can have as much power as we want, but if there's no organization, what the hell does it matter? We're not going to get nowhere.
Right.
If we can't do, attacks organized, if we can't even talk to each other organizedly, what does it matter?
I mean,
It don't matter. At the end of the day, the whales will go off and do their own individually attacks. and half the crew will go this way, half the crew will go that way, and you won't get anywhere.
Hey, the only ones we have to worry about is 910, 799, and
Yeah,
850.
but 858, what do they have? What have I always said? They have great organization skills. They are all intact as one, and they're all in one alliance. They all show up. If one person's getting hit, they're all there in like seconds. They have great organization, communication, and regardless, I'm not saying, I'm pretty sure not everybody in that alliance love each other. Let's be honest. But when it comes to events, they are well organized.
Hey,
So
don't worry.
100%.
so
We'll get there.
So this is like what's going to happen in the future is like you're going to see because you guys are freshly merged. You're going to start. You're going to well either way. You guys are just going to start seeing older nations in different events, and I hate to
Mhm.
say KE, but even in KE, even though like no one fights now, I know 877 fights because I've fought you guys, so I know you guys fight.
Yes.
That's one of those nations that if you guys have prepare because they're gonna fight you. Um, so yeah, but what happens if you're the nation that you merge with? I'm not saying your guys' nation, but I'm saying in general. What happens if your nation that you merge with is just not used to fighting, and they just want to hide, and that kind of puts it a big hinder on your guys' neck.
For sure.
Dude, the last two events we won off of recruits because
No one wants to play.
no one will play us. Everyone stays bubbled. It's hard.
It's been boring. Honestly, the past couple kill events suck.
No, I agree. I agree. You know what? It's not just like, when I went to 5, 6, 7, everyone's like, "Oh, Woody, no one's gonna fight you because you guys are just too strong." No, dude, this has happened throughout the entire game. It's not just because it's a strong nation. It's because people are scared to lose troops.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I'm not used to it personally because 887. I mean, shit. Me and just being, lone 41, and we'd go out there and score all sorts of points of NFG. And now I get over here and I'm like, holy shit, no one's gonna fight us.
Yeah, it's.
That's kind of funny.
They even got the like. It sucks. It sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. Do we have any other nations in here that are having somewhat issues? I had Brazil. Sorry, I had to mute you, bro. The background noise was just overtaking. That wasn't that wasn't that wasn't T Dog, was it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay, I was
It
gonna
wasn't
say.
us.
I was gonna say. I mean, I know you guys are having a party, but yeah. So I
No,
mean,
that wasn't us.
so let me.
Yeah, hey, sorry, Woody, I didn't reach out to you when we were up there the other weekend. It was actually Cockroach's birthday.
Oh,
So as soon as I got up there, I had to go visit a plant, pick up something that I'd ordered, brought it back to the hotel. Zero Chill picked me up. We literally went to Cockroach's birthday, celebrated that. I came back. My buddy flew in just to help me drive back to Charlotte, North Carolina, because it was so far.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
So I
We're
mean, dude, I had no time, man. I even told Zero Chill. I was like, look, dude, let's make some time. An hour or two. Let's meet Woody, and we just couldn't, man. I'm so sorry.
that's no worries. No, that's no worries, bro. That's no worries.
But they are having a party, I
Well,
think, in August, where it's going to be like a weekender.
okay.
They're like,
Well,
all we got to do is get up that way. They're going to pick us up in
I
a
tell
party bus. Take
I,
us a couple hours. You can join if you want. I already talked to them. They said you're good.
that's fair. That's fair. let's let's talk about this like outside of live because there's like hundreds of people right now watching.
Oh, shit. Sorry, buddy.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to.
That's why I didn't mention locations.
Right, right.
Never
But
mind.
so I'm reading in the YouTube chat that 393 has the same similar issue with the whole not being able to get together, not trying to unite. So we fought what was it 459 I think it was 459 recently in Void, and you had a lot of big cities in different alliances, and that's not cool. That's not good. And here's the reason why: you go up against a bigger nation, right? And what happens is now no one's able to fight because not you have separated your entire big guys. You separated the entire nation to being able to fight off those kind of players, those kind of alliances. I've never understood the whole reason to split your nation up. Someone tried to explain it to me before, and I think it was a farmer or a third alliance that said, "Well, if you have big cities in different alliances, then you guys can fight with three alliances." So, with that being said, so you have three alliances that has two big cities versus the enemy nation that has 20 C-41s. So at that point, what are those 241s that are big going to do exactly with 36s? You literally are hindering your nation by doing that. Like you are literally hindering it. You're cutting the ability of what your nation can do. And many times you'll see a lot of these nations say something like, "Well, we need a merger to compete." You're right, you do. You need a merger to compete. But first, you need a merger own nation before you actually need a nation merge. You understand? You know what I mean? Like a lot of egos that come into this game, they ruin their own nation, and that's not cool. If you have an R5 that can't look out for the nation and only looks out for the alliance, then that is it. I promise you that's not the right R5 you want. Each R5 in every single alliance needs to think about the nation. So they need to think about what can we do as a third or second alliance to help this nation be successful. So if that means that your top players have to join that number one alliance to be competitive and be successful for that nation, that is what a good R5 would do. If an R5 say, "No, we're not gonna join you. You guys are just gonna steal the kills. We're not gonna do that. No, fuck that. We're not doing that." You have the wrong R5. You have the wrong R5 in your alliance. And that right there, I've played this game for 7 years, guys. I know the ins and outs. You guys might think that you guys got something special going on, but I promise you don't. Every single nation is the same. We've all had our own civil wars. We've all had our own disagreements. You have to give some to get some, and that is the truth. So, with that being said, has anyone in here had this problem? Because trust me, there's a lot of you guys that they're not speaking up, and you need to speak up because I want to see the game be successful. And I'm sure you guys want it. I mean, you guys are dumping money into this game, right? And no one's gonna talk again.
875. If you
Yeah,
want to look
no,
into that.
I will say to all the people out there that don't spend, don't ruin it for the whales. Let them play.
I like that.
Hey,
I like
Woody.
that. Yeah.
So I have an interesting topic. So right now in 910, we have a little small issue, or it can become a big issue. So
Okay.
because it was such a great merge, everyone knows already.
Hmm.
A lot of the players that were in the first alliance in the previous nations before the merge still have an itch to fight in KE, right? But they're not that strong. So they're leaking points. They're not making the best decisions right now on fighting in KE and stuff. And obviously, as the number one line, you're going to tell them you got to shut that shit down. You need to fight smart, right? You need to go out and hunt. get for bubble drops, even though we all know in the game bubble drops are becoming harder and harder to find.
Right.
KE's dead. So I brought up a very interesting conversation in leadership, like, do we give up strongest commander so everybody can just have fun and we keep the activity and everyone grows, and who gives a fuck about winning KE anymore, right? And everybody had, I'm not going to say everyone's opinions, but there was a lot of different opinions. But I think it was a big, important conversation to have, right? Like, honestly, who really gives a shit about your KE record anymore, your win percent? It's a dead event. Like, if your nation is having fun and your activity's high and everybody shows up to GC and everybody's striving, who cares about winning strongest commander? Like, that's kind of my mindset now in the game. Because I want 250 people every round in GC if GC ever comes back around, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. We haven't made any final decisions about that, but I think that's a pretty big conversation. And I think 910 might not be the only nation having that conversation.
No,
Well,
1070 has also been kind of having that conversation as well. Since our merge, it's been a mess because it's a lot of people were in the first alliance in 1029 and now they're in the second alliance and they want to play the same way, but they don't have the backing of their main players that they used to have because they're all now in the first alliance.
so
And
look,
it's become basically either shutting down our players and telling them, well, you can't play, or losing a KE, and it ends up ruining the game for people who really want to play.
well, let me ask you guys something. Those players that you removed and you brought new players in, how many players are still not attending it or in the first alliance? So, and let me explain why I'm saying this. If you have let's say some 38s that are in your top alliance because they're stronger than 35s and 36s, but if they don't participate in KE and they don't participate in Void or Elite War or Polar like how everyone else is or whatever event that you guys are highly structured to do, what good are they? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Well, you know, in 910, we don't have that.
Well, I
So,
know, I know
with
that, but I'm just saying in general. Like, I mean,
correct.
that's one of the reasons why Camel put in the what is the battle ranking contribution. They put these in here so the R4s and R5s can keep track of who's active and who's not, and switch them out with the second alliance players that are active. You know what I mean? Like, so in time, those even though those little to no spenders are in the second, in time they will grow. They will grow in time. They won't be super strong, but they will grow to where the troop type isn't going to affect the battle too
Oh,
much.
why is it cold? I'm like shaking.
Yeah, Nasby will grow, I promise.
Yeah. So this is one of the best things that Camo actually put in here, whether you guys use it or not, for R4s and R5s, is so you can keep track of who's very active in every event. And if they're not active, they need to go to the second alliance. Period. As soon as you join your nation or join it, you just tell them, hey, we go off these charts. If you're inactive for these, let's just say polar and whatever event that you guys prioritize, Elite War. If you're not active more than 3 times, you have to go to second alliance. So they're aware. They're aware of your rules of activity. So when it happens, they're not like, "Oh man, well, that fuck you guys," and they want a civil war. They're very well aware. If they can't make it, there's 1 strike. Can't make it a 2. The second time, that's 2 strikes, and then 3 strikes, you're out. And then bring someone from the second alliance in there until the next person, and you can swap them out. It's kind of the same thing as if you look as a business. If you show up to work, if you don't show up for work, they're going and you're someone special there. They're going to downgrade you. You know what I mean? Either downgrade you or fire you, and someone's going to replace you. And I think that
Yeah, we did that at first. When we first merged, we consolidated like all of our heavy players to the top alliance. And then when we found out that most of their top players are farmers and they don't actually want to do anything, then we started, okay, well, it doesn't really matter city size now, it's participation. So we did that, and even like consolidating every active player into the same alliance, we still only get like maximum 40 people in a fight because happened to be that we got merged with a nation of farmers, which is fun because I'm not good at farming, so this has been great.
I mean, there's other nations out there too. I know you don't want to hear that.
No, I know, but it's just been, oh my gosh. It's so we're like trying to
Yeah,
figure out how to not feed points, but it's like there's very, very few fighters in that nation. They came from a civil war nation where all they did is bubble and farm.
yeah, that's kind of rough. I mean, then you got to prioritize a different event, and that's
Yeah,
just
that's been what we've been doing, and we're trying, but like even then, we end up with like for Polar. Polar was a main event for us for a long time. Now we can't even get half participation for any of the times. We've jumped every time. Elite War, we're still dominating, but it's just like well, dominating for our city, for our nation level. We rarely lose, but we haven't worked our way up to you guys yet. But yeah, we can't get the participation we need because everybody's a freaking farmer.
Zero promoted.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Kitten here does have a little bit of a point. I'm reading in his
We both did a
eh,
lot of them, saw it. But
who's
I
that?
see Buddy as member. I thought
Thanks, T Dog. Um, Kitten says, I mean, like seriously, y'all hyper consolidate, and with the stat differences, you think you're not going to change. So, Kitten, I understand that. Super strong nations. It's kind of hard to fight and void. I get that, and I understand that. But in Frenzy, where you're not losing troops, I mean,
Yeah, that
but
Woody, that's feeding.
what?
If you're gonna smash into a wall, that's called feeding. My point is that players haven't learned how to fight in the new meta, but they're still using the same stupid tactics when power splitting was more prevalent and you had more action.
Well, yeah,
So the
back in the
very fact is
days.
people have yeah, but back in the days, but the thing is it's a new complete meta. If you keep on using the same tactic that you used back in the days in a new meta, it's not going to work.
No, it's not.
You're not going to get the same action. Like, I'm sorry, like, you're in 567. How many nations, like entire worlds, could challenge your top alliance 1v1 in a KE?
And
Three? Three
yeah,
nations, maybe, out of thousands? Yeah, you're gonna do things. But then you're also using the same exact tactics when you didn't have that same power level and expect the same fight.
what do you mean the same exact tactics as the old
Like
nations? Like, because
like you guys
the old,
like doing a bubble trap after EW. You're sitting there hunting for bubbles, and second and third alliances don't know how to fight.
that's true. That's
Like
true.
whenever you go into when like back in the day here, it was KE nations, not a KE alliance. It was KE nations. And the best KE nations had communication from the first alliance to the second alliance to the third alliance, and they were in constant contact in unison fighting. And then what happens right now is you guys have hyper consolidated. You've removed all your fighters from your second and third alliance, put them in a top alliance that might not be able to fight another top alliance. And then you also don't have any tactics beyond let's get 90 and smash them into a wall, and whoever wins is better.
I mean,
I
that
get
was.
what you're saying, but also like consolidating is the only option when nations only have a few players. So like us, for
And
example, if we
I
don't
would strongly
consolidate, we don't have
agree.
more than 15
You give me
people.
one C41 and five other players. I will absolutely trounce every single top alliance I fight. Every time.
Wait. No.
That's because I spent the time and the effort to fight in KE.
So,
I know how to break it. I know how to break fights into multiple counters. I know how to read when a count is a T4 trap or not. I understand and track alliance time zones. The thing is, it's easier for alliances to hyper consolidate to play for Polar, Wasteland, and whatnot because it's less effort. You just have to have people show up and send in the right fleet formation and buff. KE, everyone wants to be the big stick that wants to smash people in the face. When really, with the new meta, you're supposed to be more like a rapier and be precise and concise and repetitive.
I mean, how competitive can you be if no one unbubbles?
That's hey, if no one unbubbles, then you need to create the opportunity for them to unbubble.
Oh, dude, there's been
And guess what? That falls not to the top alliance.
oh,
That
dude,
falls to the
we
second and third alliance.
dude, we've talked to the second and third alliance before. Not even just in 567, but in 736, they will drop a bubble, but the enemy won't.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they're just dropping a bubble and they're just sitting there with a fucking fog, are they really going to attack it? What does that tell you? That tells you it's a
That's a
trap.
trap, 100%.
Yeah, so you need to think of outside the box instead of using the same old tactics. I'm sorry, a bubble, you unbubble a city and you throw a fog on it. That is like 101 baiting from fucking the intro of the goddamn game. Everyone knows it. So it's like if you want to be a badass in KE and you want to own KE, you have to put in the work and effort to develop tactics that work in this meta. And I'm trying to like give as much as I can without giving I can because I'm doing this in 785 right now. And I've done it in Nation 2 and I did it in 385. But everyone's playing with the same tactics and a new meta, and that's why KE is dead. And I'm just going to leave it right there. You guys can go back to your fun now.
I've tried to explain to the community before by using your second rank alliance as a trap for your so your first rank alliance can speed in and attack them is a good solution to it. But I mean, people don't listen to that. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and I know you haven't shared your secrets to anyone, so no one really knows it. I've seen you in action, so I mean, I know what you're doing. But I mean, even in Frenzy, no one's fighting. Frenzy, a no troop loss event. No one's fighting.
And I'm telling you, Woody, that even if it's Void or Frenzy, I am being attacked or attacking over 200 times with valid targets every KD.
I believe you. I believe you. But how do you
And
get?
I'm
How
telling
do
you,
you get? Okay, you.
the popular thing is I was in Day and I was able to pull the same thing off. I was in Nation 2, I was in Core, I was able to pull off the same things. It's the development of play that other players aren't using yet. And as soon as players like stop just doing the basic shit and they actually, okay, I'll give you all a great thing. If you want to actually bait, cause movement. If you're sitting there staring at nothing for a while, cause movement. Take a farm, take a 60 alliance, and go farm raiding for resources. Make movement.
I agree.
And guess what? A movement player looks like a target, not a trap.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. That brings it back to the whole like RSS traps, or sending your troops out to like farm and bring them back without unbubbling or without bubbling up.
Yeah, KE is one of the greatest expressions of tactics in this game because it's the only event you can win without using a credit card. Because people can still, recruit bubble. Like people can still recruit and bubble and do all of that stuff. But to me personally, if you lose the KD portion, I don't care about the first four. Cool, you swipe your credit card. Guess what? I won KE. I'm the better fighter. You can go to the nearest McDonald's and suck my McNuggets. Like,
you're wrong. I mean, you're right. You're right there. You're 100% right. The whole recruiting thing. If Camel took the whole recruiting, the farming, and all that shit out of the whole setup and made it to where it was just the KE win that wins and doesn't win, I feel that there would be more fighting.
Yeah, like I get the first four. The first four is great. It allows your free to play players to grow. It allows your other players to like get extra gold and resources. It's great. But with the current meta and with the West bracket, yeah, they need to separate out the farming additions from the KE. But at the same time, if players want to fight, they need to think outside the box of what they've been doing and put in the effort to not only learn how to do something, but to teach the other players to do it. Because everyone in our game is pretty much copy paste. They're only doing what the whales tell them to do. So until a whale tells them, hey, we need to use a different tactic, let's try this, they're not going to do it. And guess what? When they do it, you need to give them an opportunity to do it where they can mess up and not get their ass dragged across the ground.
They're not wrong.
Because you need to give your players a place where they can learn and make mistakes.
You're not wrong.
Like 785 right now. Like we're still ragging on our players for feeding, but we're not kicking them out of alliances and max burning them after they do it because it's not a priority and they still need to learn. But at the same time, they also need to learn that they're making a huge mistake instead of making an excuse for it.
Right. I feel we're at the point in the game now that when someone gets burnt, I think they might have learned their lesson just from that one burning. So killing them and burning them after KE. I mean, if they're deliberately dropping their bubble to give away points, by all means, burn the hell out of them, get them out of there. But if like someone falls asleep and they get zeroed out, I feel that at this point in the game that they pretty much learned a very valuable lesson. They just got zeroed out. You know, they got to start all over with building troops back up. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's the game has changed, guys. A lot of nations are still going the same route as the ancient ways to play the game. And Kitten, you're right about that. We have to think of different tactics to get people to attack. But let's say that doesn't work. That doesn't work. And people are still just, going at it. Or not going at it. They're just, nope, we're not going to fight. And I think the biggest complaint that I hear is, you guys got 841s in there, and we only got 10. And if you look at the officer power and this and that, no, we're not going to fight. And what if we lose troops? Well, I mean, isn't that part of losing? Isn't that part of Void losing troops? Who's to say you don't bubble trap 2 of us, and you guys send 40? Who's losing troops then? We are. I don't care who you are. 40 people against 2 people. That's hard to eat. That's hard to win that one. That's real hard to win. Hey, uncalled for. It's true. It's true. Fuck, I've been bubble trapped before. I've ran face first into Holbrook before. I hit a wall myself. That was fun. That was fun. It hurt. It hurt. So what can we do for some of these nations? How do we structure a good nation then? How do we structure, or what event should we be trying to really go hard on?
Just quit
Well, quit what? I mean, we
the
all
game
we play this game for a reason, right? We enjoy it.
and we bitch about it every day.
We bitch about it every day. You're right. We do. We do. If it ain't here, it's my server. It's not my server. It's someone else's server. We bitch about it. You're right.
I know you're talking about how we got to find solutions and stuff, but it's finding a solution for a broken ass game. That's what the fucking developers are for. They need to fucking find a solution. Sooner or later, people are going to lose their patience. I know we all complain, we all bitch, and we come back round and we play it and we do it all over again. But at some point, there needs to be some give. Like, they need to fucking fix existing events rather than adding new ones every time. Like, how many events is there now? Like, pay events, buy events, got friggin' AI robots now in there, dancing around, transformers, green transformers, everything, right? Even this thing that you're looking at now. So I
Mhm.
get it. They want to make money and they want to add all these things, but they need to start fixing some of the previous ones that people like, because people are going to get annoyed.
Well, I
And
mean, people nowadays, they're not showing that they like certain events.
mm,
What are we all showing that we like? We like Elite War and we like Polar.
mm,
We can say we can say to everyone's death or out of voice that we love KE, which I know we do, but
mm.
no one's really. I mean, and I get Kitten, your thing, but no one's fighting. So when no one fights, what do? Well, let's go prior towards Elite War and Polar. That's what
But the
people
funny
were.
thing is, right? But the funny thing is, right? When people did push back on certain things, or when they didn't fight, the developers did kind of take notice. So, for example, Battle Frenzy, right? No one bothered playing it. No one was bothered about it, and then they stuck it into this head of state thing. Now it forces people to play it. One thing. Second thing, they got the towers, didn't they? Because remember, no one was fighting,
Yeah.
so they brought out the towers to make people fight. So they are capable, you know, and they are smart enough to come up with things. They just, it's my opinion, but they just choose not to because a lot of people don't push back like before. Yeah, we complain and bitch about it, but when you actually push back, that's when they listen. And when people stopped playing Frenzy, they realize, shit, we need to get these people to play. We need to do something. Do you see? So I'm not saying, have some mass petition or whatever. We all know that shit doesn't work. It only just causes more problems for yourselves. But I don't know if what we shouldn't be doing here is arguing about how we should change tactics and this and that. What we should be talking about is how the friggin' hell do we get these people to take notice to make changes? Because it's ultimately down to them, not us. We shouldn't have to change the way we play. They should change the game a bit to adapt to the players so they can actually play and participate.
Well, how many
That's what it should be.
how many people's talked to their VIP about that?
There you go. That could be something that we all could do.
Have you?
Speak to our VIPs.
Have you?
Dude, I live in a dead graveyard, bro. There's no point me even talking to anyone.
Well, regardless of dead graveyard, so on and so forth, have you ever talked to Camo about that?
Which part? What, the part that is dead?
The part that you just said, the part that
No, I'll be honest with you.
about
No, I'll be
head of
honest. I
state
haven't.
and stuff like that. Head of state and
No, I have in the past about certain, events and gave ideas and stuff. And some of these ideas I actually proposed did actually come to light. Not exactly how I said it, but I can see some of these ideas kind of, going into the game and stuff. But what I'm saying is, you need more people doing that and communicating. And if you push a narrative where everyone is on the same page, they have to take notice. It's just like I said, bro. Everyone loves to whinge and moan, but no one wants to put in the work. It's like I don't know, the gentleman who spoke a little while ago about R5 and stuff like that. To make your nation good, you need to put in the work. You can bitch about it and burn people and do whatever. That's the easy way, but no one wants to put in the work. That's the ultimate thing. And if everyone puts in the work together without, being threatening or anything to Camel. Camel doesn't take threats nicely. We all know
no, they
that.
don't. No, they don't. They
But you
don't.
don't need to threaten them. You just got to basically make them know aware. Like, look, this is what's happening. This is what's making us how it's making us feel. This is what we believe. And if everyone keeps saying the same thing, they got to do it. Like, for example, that event they quite a few months ago, man, when they got that event out, and then all of a sudden they got rid of the event, right? It was that, I don't know what it was, man.
It was It was ancient
Yeah, some
battlefield.
people didn't like it, some people did, but both sides pushed back. One
Well,
side won.
in fairness, there was only a few nations that got to play it, and
Hmm.
some of the players decided, no, we don't like this because you lose all your troops during frenzy, versus allowing the entire game to try it.
Mm.
I think that would have been such an OP event.
But
It,
they
it,
probably realized it was going to cost them much more money. One reason why someone pulls
how
something
is
like
that?
that.
How would it cost them more money? People, now I get like farmers are not going to heal. I get that portion. Or let's just say like Ronaldo gets zeroed out, the whole 50 million troops. He might not heal all his troops. I get that, but he'll heal like at least 5 fleets. You know what I mean? Those
Yeah.
big whale players, they'll at least heal 5 fleets. I think that it would have been a good idea. It would have been a good thing for them to bring in Levin here for everyone to do, because
Mm.
it would have been like the next Chaos Land. You got 8 nations, and while the player is sent into a tower to beat their battle, which people said it took over 5 minutes to solo. 5 minutes, a lot of things can happen in 5 minutes between 8 nations and a single city. You know what I mean? A lot of things, a lot of
Mm.
people could have got zeroed. Yeah, even at 50
Yes.
million troops, you have 8 nations eight alliances with like we'll just say 80 people hitting at once, back to back while the Titans are out. I don't care who you are, man. You're getting zeroed out.
Yeah,
Without,
I think for us, like I said, when that was announced, right, and we started talking about it before it came out, and then some nations were trying, and we were getting videos and screenshots. Yeah, we were super excited. Like, we genuinely were.
yeah,
But then what happened was they pulled it, and then they pulled out friggin' head of state, which was just a repackaged fucking hooker. That's
it,
pretty much what it was. Um,
head of state sucks. Head of state sucks. If they would have made it a little bit more interesting, instead of just tying Void and Frenzy together into one event and calling it and just calling it, hey, this is a new event. I think it would have
mm,
gone different. Like if they would have kept the ancient battlefield in it, it would have got a lot more people fighting that ancient battlefield for say Frenzy. Probably Frenzy still would have probably been died in the towers, but I think people would have showed up for that ancient battlefield. Like I mean, you think about it, it's similar to Chaos Line. It's similar to Iron Blood. How many people show up to those? A
mm.
lot of people do. So
I think
people,
Chaos Land is probably one of the best
it is the
events.
it is the
Everyone, everyone,
it is the
everyone
events.
loves Chaos Land
It
because there's no losses and you actually genuinely have fun and people enjoy Chaos Land more than Frenzy, funny enough, just because everyone's open, right? But then, that goes back to why Chaos Land is so successful. It's because you're in the event, I think you only get to put like a 30-minute bubble up and then 30 minutes later it'll drop, right? So everyone's kind of got to be on their toes all the time. So I guess it's taking the ones that everyone enjoy and why they enjoy it and kind of incorporate it into Frenzy. I think Frenzy sucks. A lot of people love it, a lot of people don't. I think it sucks. And I think if you take elements from Chaos Land into Frenzy, you're gonna be able to get a lot more people to play it. Whether Camel chooses to charge you more shit or whatever, that's down to them. More than likely they will. But it's gonna get more people to play. And again, this part no one's gonna like, but you know, we all know people are scared of losing troops and no one really likes playing Void. But to be honest, come on, all the best fighters and all the real fighters love playing Void. So you need to kind of do something in Void, like you did with Frenzy. Maybe put in the tower. Yes, if you don't want to play, don't play. But you have that choice. No one puts a gun to your head. If you want to
I,
defend the tower, defend the tower. If you don't want to, don't lose bloody Void. That's your choice. But if they don't want to do that, and I know this is the part, it's going to be sickening because we already get so many events as it is, they might need to create another event that's a loss event, but in a way where it doesn't force everyone to play. Like if you don't want to play it, you don't play it. But those who do want to play it. Because
I feel that that ancient battlefield would have been really really good.
mm,
Here's the reason why they stopped it. Too many people were complaining about not being able to heal for frenzy, but for no one fights in frenzy anyway. So what the fuck does it matter?
I guess that's the reason why the I
No
think, but I
one no
think
one
that's
fought it. No one's fighting anyways.
yeah, but I think that's the reason why people kicked back is because it was within an event, in an event. Do you see? It was a double, and it costs enough as it is to heal. I know no one plays, which is the shitty part, but it was an event within an event, so you can ultimately lose two events. And yeah, of
So
course, it involved a shit
what?
ton of
So
heals.
what? So
I
what?
know, but there's always going to be the little fucking little bastard who bitches in the corner, right?
Well,
And
I
that's the
mean,
one they take notice of.
I honestly don't care about too much about the whole win lose thing
Mm.
portion of it because I think nations need to start realizing it's coming down to activity. Would you rather win a void or frenzy or rather be able to have 80, 90 people into an attack, but yet you still lose, but everyone's there
Yeah.
versus
I mean,
you win and only 10 people fought?
yeah, I think that's one side of it. So I think it's like I said, it's not. This is my opinion, guys. But then everyone's free to kind of jump in. But every time I come on Woody's podcast, I feel as though it's just me and you talking, and a few people like kind of jump in.
Well,
Everyone's here. There's what more than so many how many people,
well,
but no one talks.
there's a lot of people in here. I mean, a lot of people they have their opinions as well. of
Yeah.
what's going on. And when it comes down to it, let's be real. People don't fight because of the priority events and the speeds and heals. Let me explain that. If you make polar one of your priority events, and you make Elite War, well, Elite War is everyone's priority event. You pretty much don't have speeds that's going to last long enough
Mm,
for Void.
true.
If you play Iron Blood and you're not, let's just say you're not a big spender, guess what? You no longer have heal speeds or ports afterwards for Void. And that was very, I mean, for a business aspect, that was smart of Camel to do, because people were going to, the people that are very wanting to play GC, Void, so on and so forth, they're going to have to spend to play again.
Mm,
I think the timing on Iron Blood is off. They shouldn't have done it a day before Void or a day before GC. I get their technique for doing it, but it killed it. It killed when you make one event too close. You're killing one of the events by doing that. One of them's going to die by doing that. If they spread it out, if they made Iron Blood, let's say Iron Blood was, if they swapped Chaos Land with Iron Blood and made the Iron Blood like how Chaos Land is, like 4 times or 3 times a year. I think that
mm.
both Chaos Land and Iron Blood would be super successful.
Yeah, I think we all know they got. I hope they listen to all this, but they got too greedy, dude. They put too many in, and then they thought, how are we going to get these people to spend more? And yeah, I get it. You're a business at the end of the day. You know, you want people to spend more, you know, and you want to make more money, but it's
Well,
getting to a point where you're getting people to spend money in all areas that people are going to start limiting themselves and start choosing, you know, certain things. And a lot of your events are dying because of the choices you've taken.
all right, so I'm gonna say okay, enough about the talking shit because I mean we can
Well,
sit here
we're not really. It's constructive feedback, the way I
I
see
know
it.
that, but you know people don't, not gonna say people, but businesses don't like constructive criticism, and even in some people, and even in being human, a lot of people don't like it in general. Period, because they're right and we're wrong, and we try to explain to them that they're wrong. Then, and you know what? I
I think
think that
the
might be
only other thing,
that might be the
the only
case
other,
that might be the case that's going on, you know, throughout entire like Civil War nations, like I'm right, you're wrong kind of deal. I don't
I think
care.
the only other thing feedback I would say is, you know, like going back to this whole nations not being together and fighting each other and civil war is. I know we have GC and that's supposed to bring everyone together. I guess you know it's supposed to bring everyone together, right, to work, win as a nation. You know, again, counteract or find a solution for this whole civil war bullshit. How
So
do you get people in a nation together to fight? You know, whether they,
Well,
you know, they could.
that's the whole Civil War thing is the whole reason why we're actually having this live here thing, is to these
No,
nations need to
but what
stop
I'm
Civil
saying,
War.
but what I'm saying is like, for example, if you play GC, right, you're gonna go into one alliance, and most people don't like certain people in an alliance. We get it. They don't want to play with them, you know, for a long time because they have friends and whatever.
Oh,
And the other issue is you leave your alliance, go to another alliance, then you got this whole cooldown period. Maybe come up with an event where it doesn't matter what alliance you're in. You can actually join together as a nation and you don't get these cooldowns and you don't have to deal with the irritating guy or the annoying guy
I
in that
say,
alliance.
I
Did you
say,
see?
I say, suck it up, Buttercup. It's only for one day.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, you know, you got more civil wars, or not even civil wars, dude. You got more people who are, you know, broken and separate in various different alliances just because of time zones or they can't play to each other. But again, you come up with an event where it doesn't matter if they're in separate alliance and that whole nation can fight together and there's no stupid cooldown or nothing, you get massive participation on that because they only need to deal with that. Suck it up. They don't have to suck it up and deal with that guy for 2 days or one day or for a weekend.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, these are the things that
they should be talking about. These are the things that we should be talking about, because these are the things that are going to save the game and make it better for people like us. Like I said, whether it's going to happen or not, we all know, like, most of it falls on deaf ears. But, from what I've been seeing over the, how many years I've been playing this game, it's all gone to shit, basically. It could be better, and all these things would make it better. I returned to the game, but dude, I've come to a point where I've just decided to do a U-turn and not even bloody log in barely anymore. It's it's just not fun anymore. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to influence anyone. I'm just saying that I'm sure other people feel that way as well, especially the non-successful nations who are not united. You know, what can you do to unite a nation? And yeah, people have tried. A lot of people have tried a lot of things. It's like we say, it's a full-time job to get a nation together,
Did
and
hold
sometimes it
hold
doesn't
on,
work.
hold on. Did Mental join 910?
Mental's everywhere, dude.
Yes.
So he's playing 910, 567, and 425 now.
Dude, mental's going to be everywhere. Every nation's going to have a mental.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, 910's in for some fun now.
910's wow. He's gonna Nabsy, watch out, he's gonna take your spot.
He's bored in 567 because the account's fully maxed. So he wanted to go somewhere where he could also play his favorite nation and where he could actually play. So
I mean,
that's why he went over there.
he could have easily just logged into my city and fully maxed it if he's worried about spending money.
Well, he also wanted to play.
I
You
know.
know who he wants to play.
I
I'm not going to call anybody out on the chat, but
I
you know
know.
who he wants to play.
I know. I know. I
And
know.
they may be playing that individual nation, so that's why he went there.
Gotcha. I understand.
So more to him. He's playing all of them though. He is crazy but true. Nut.
That's
That's why
great.
his name is mental.
That
Yeah,
is-
no, yeah, you hit it on the nose. If you can afford it, hey, enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what is so they? I see that they finally added the buffs together.
Yep,
What buff?
The
it
the
did.
the aura buffs. So now,
Oh.
when you got the dog aurora and now the armored aura, you can get the damage, the attack, and the HP, and they go in together now.
Is that why that jumping green
See right here.
transformer guy is purple now?
You
Or
see
is
that?
that just the next level?
See the halos right there. So you can activate it. You can activate both of them, and everyone that's around there touching it can get the effects of right here. HP, 6% from HP, and then the 6% attack.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's not a huge, but it is kind of, you know what I mean. That can make or break who wins and who doesn't win if they're not inside of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. All right. I want to go to the YouTube chat for a second. So right there, Nasty Tuesday says it's not worth forcing people. Just dip and go to a like-minded nation. Cheaper to move than to keep spending on a dream that may never come true. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
For instance, I mean, go like what you did. You retired. You found out someone was talking shit about you. You came back and started civil war.
No, 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 no,
Yeah. I was there.
no, no.
I was there in the
Correction.
live when you said that.
No,
I was
no.
I was
Correction.
hosting the live when you
No,
said it.
no. I left. I left. Someone got a bigger city, started talking shit like they were a big dog, started civil war themselves because they thought they were a big dog and started killing people that they shouldn't be. I heard about it and came back and kicked the shit out of him. And now he's gone from nearly 200 million BP to like 40 million BP. And funny thing is, his shield drops every other day. And every time it does, I get an alert. I go in, hit him, and slaughter him. And, loses about 200 troops every time. So he's dead now. There's nothing he can do. But no, I did not come back and start Civil War. I came back and finished it. That's what I did.
That's
You
fair.
don't fucking come into my nation and get another city, and just because I've retired, you think you can talk shit about me and I ain't gonna hear about it.
All right, so Big Bird in the chat is saying KE is a lost art, which he's not wrong. Reverse traps, reverse bubble traps, port and return port so enemy thinks half the team is still en route, but their attacks were broken by the port. True. Switching out the strongest BT breakthrough strongbows, using a farm alliance city. It's just a lost art. Those were all, yeah. Those, I mean, you're 100% right, Big Bird. Those were all the techniques I used to use back when I was in 373. But I even went even further. I would use my farm, go to the enemy nation, all like 30 of them, port in the very corner, and I would send all the troops out to every one of their flags. And I would wait. I would wait until they got all close. All those, all 30 of those farms got close to those flags. And then I would port somewhere close. And people would just send reinforcements there, not knowing. They would drop their bubble, and then I would port and hit them with my main. I'd port close and hit him with my main. And they wouldn't even know where it was because there were so many accounts that said Woody, Woody 1, Woody 2, Woody 3. They wouldn't know where, who. They just know that they got a whole shitload of troops lost. Those are the kind of, but in reality, those are very dirty tricks that I used to do, very dirty. But that's when KE was actually KE. People actually fought. 200, 300 people showed up from each nation, and they fought it out. Holbrook is saying the problem is players that don't want to adapt that the game changed. Kitten already said it is his way, and I'll say it's generic. It's generically the game changed. Evolve or cry about the same thing every KE. I mean, you're not wrong with
When
that.
when 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 something evolves, it gets better. Sorry to blow anyone's
It's
bubble.
supposed to get
Yeah,
better. It's
no.
supposed to get
When
better.
something no, the thing is, the word for evolving is you evolve and you get better. In this
Guys,
situation, it evolved and turned into
Ah,
shit.
guys, what event does everyone talk about every week? What event is everyone excited about? Four people being in four different alliances being involved in.
What
It's none of the
GC?
events you guys are talking about. It's an event that costs a lot of money that the
Hold on.
community is super hyped about, and you're totally off goat. Sorry.
Polar,
Which one?
in Elite War.
The
Yeah,
the
which one?
only event where global conquest champions fight each other every single Tuesday.
What Wasteland?
Polar.
No, Woody already told you, bro. You just don't play the game. You just come here to cry about the game you used to play. Sorry.
No, I don't.
Polar.
No,
Polar.
no. I ain't gonna. No, no. Let's go step back. Who comes on here to cry about what? Sorry.
So it's polar. The answer is polar.
No, no. I'm not gonna sidestep the remark. Who comes on here to cry about everything? Do you see me coming on and crying? I came here and I actually gave my opinion on what can be done to make the game better. When have I cried? I've said I'm in a shitty nation. I've said the nation's dead. Have I ever cried about it? No. I hear other people bitching, so I make comments about why they shouldn't be bitching and what they should be doing. But don't come on live, bro, and tell me that I come every other week to cry about something because I've never come on about crying about anything. I know my nation's dead. I know it's shit. If I wanted, I could go and join 5 different nations tomorrow because I get offers every day. So it's not about me bitching and crying about anything. It's me trying to help people not to make the same mistakes the older nations have made. But at the same time, hear people whining about the same fucking thing all the time, telling them, well, do this, do that, speak to your VIP. We just spoke about a couple of things now that you can speak to VIP. So, bro, as much as you want to take your 5 minute of fame or whatever it is that you want to attack the goat. That's fine, bro. But don't throw low blows at me, because not once did I come on in and bitch or cry about anything. And I'll end it at that.
All right. That threw me off. That threw me off. That threw me off. Not gonna lie, it threw me off a little bit.
But yeah, in terms of Polar, yes, Polar is something that a lot of people play.
People
But at the
love
same time,
people love
people love
Polar.
it. But you need a team for Polar, right? It goes back to the same thing.
Well, I
You
mean,
need a team
you
to play Polar.
can't right, but you can't have a team if your nation's kind of split up.
Yeah. And that goes back to getting people to unite and to play
Yeah.
together. And I think that's the difficulties a lot of people are. It's not always a civil war that doesn't bring people together. It's differences, it's time zones. Do you see? It's
It,
many factors, it's cultures. It's not always bad things that don't unite people. Sometimes it's just small things. Like time zones, one of the biggest thing. That's not a bad thing. That's not someone choosing. It's just they're on different time zones. They just can't be online at 4 in the morning to play Polar
no,
or Eagle.
okay. The time zone thing, I will 100% admit, is a huge issue. Um, and I'll say for instance, and because I was eavesdropping and heard and seen someone say, like 567's in first place right now, and we fight in round one, because that's when we can get most active players into it. Versus round two, where all the other bigger alliances like 255, 910, so on and so forth, they're able to get their that's where their most activity is. So each nation or each alliance that plays in Polar, um, they pick where their strongest point is. It would be like 255 coming to round one, which most of them are on a different time schedule. So they might only get 40 people, and we have 80 people that show up. It would totally hinder their attempt to be able to even go against us. It wouldn't be worth it. It would just be a loss. Not saying it. Not saying 255. Don't take offense to that. I'm just saying, like, the time schedule. It varies what time slot you guys play. Um, do I want to go and fight 255, 910? Hell no. I don't want to fight them. Hell no. Would it be fun? It'd be off the hook. But I will say that this 500,000 gold that I have right here will come down to like 200,000 gold by the time that one round is done. I know that. Uh, Polar time is about Iron Blood timing too. I mean, kind of. I mean, all these events are about timing. No one's gonna do Elite War without they know they can get the full people in there. No one is. In general, no one is. Save it says it will go to zero. Trust me, it will go to zero. Exactly. Like Save said, it would go to zero, meaning they would not be able to get that many people to fight in a different round. They picked their strongest round, and obviously they're strong as fuck. I mean, no offense, 255, but they beat 255 three times in a row now. That's that's impressive. That's impressive. I don't know what to say. That's impressive. Where is 910 on the rankings? They are moving up. 16. Ooh, they're in top 20. That's gonna be interesting. Sounds like you want to try to fight in that round. Yeah, we moved to round two once, and we got like 30 people to show up. Nah, that's not our round. That's not our strong round. So, questions people's ask me, is GC coming? I don't have an answer for that. I really don't have an answer for that. Anyone talk to their VIP about it? About GC? Anyone?
Some of our guys mentioned it, and the VIP acted like they didn't know what they were talking about.
Like they didn't know what GC was?
No, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't cancel it.
Well, we ain't seen it. Maybe it's one of those invisible things, and only people can see it are the Lock Nations, so they can
I
finally,
don't know.
so they can get a win. I have no clue. I don't see it. It should have been posted like a month and a half ago. But either
At
way,
least a week. At least a week ago.
I agree. I agree with that.
There's still a small chance they could put out some merger notices.
No, it's over.
No, we
Just,
we got a little bit of time
ha-
before Haas starts.
it already started.
I know, but it start. I know it started, but
It's already started. They won't do it.
don't dash my hopes.
Hey man, I hate to dash your hopes. I'm sorry, man, but well, let's just jump to reality. You know, I'm not gonna feed this dream if it's not gonna happen. I think that'd be pretty awesome if people got mergers. That'd be badass. But I personally don't think it's going to happen right now. Possibly July, or not even actually. Maybe June,
It's all messed up now.
August, maybe.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
it's messed up. I don't. The whole prediction that we had going that Echoes was able to make, which was it seemed like it was pretty accurate in the beginning of this year, but this whole GC thing, you can throw it out the window.
Right? Yeah.
But
The next window was July, but even the July window was a small possibility. It was more like September or October, I think.
yeah, it's funny because GC Chat disappeared last season,
Yep.
and I know a lot of it had to do with the comedy that was on it. But
Right.
I think we all have to also think about real life shit that's going on right now over there in China.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that is affecting what's truly going on in the game. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like with trade or import export, I don't know what's really going on. I don't know what Camel's thinking right now. I really don't know. They've been kind of hush hush with me. Holbrook says maybe GC got mothballed like Gasland. It's only allowed a couple of times a year. I mean, it was only allowed a couple times a year in the first place. What,
Yeah,
three?
sorry, I'm in an Uber, so I'm trying not to be
Yeah.
too annoying and talk too much. But maybe the way to bring back the excitement for GC is to run it once a year. Maybe they figured that out.
Maybe.
I mean, that honestly, I think that would be the best bet. If you run it once a year, and you gave each nation time to grow, and then pop a GC, I think
Yeah.
that might be like, oh well, there's been three mergers. Now we don't know who's gonna win. People might actually fight.
Maybe a mega GC.
Maybe. I mean, we could just say, what if until they Cameron decides to do something, but until we see it, it's still what if. But I mean
Can you
that
imagine that though? Like, so each of the globes, they come together, they win, and then it goes down from there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's going to come down to the top four, but still, it'd still be cool to play it.
I mean, I think that GC should be ran the same way it was running before.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that what should happen is like at the end of the year, I think that they should have this one huge GC with all the winning nations going against each other. Like all
Yeah,
the winning globe nations that they just
y-
put them all in one and let them
y-
fight it out.
yeah, that's what I was suggesting. A mega. So each winner of each globe then goes into a set of brackets for what how many globes are there now? 16,
Yeah.
15, 14, something like that. So then those guys fight it out until the last four, and then whoever is the winner out of those four, they are the true champs of AOZ.
So there's only one problem that I see if they did it right now. is
Yeah.
255 would be ultimately the winner.
I
And
know.
the only
We
reason
know.
the only reason I say that is because the amount of numbers each round that they show up. So if let's say like 9-10, they just come heavy, and but they could let's say they can get the 250 2 rounds. What about that third round? That's a gimme. So where all 255 or anyone around him would have to do is just make sure they don't get the full 45 2 rounds. You know what I mean? And then whoever can pull 250 in that one of the rounds where no one shows up, they're ultimately the winner because of the numbers.
True.
I know that there is a strategic way you can do it to where you can make it to where you can still win all 3 rounds. Because 722, when they were in our globe, they did it to us when I was in 736, and they split up the whales. They split up to where they just had enough people to fight to where we couldn't get max 45, and they split up in all 3 rounds. Like they showed up. Like I even called them out and blamed them for cheating because they just showed up in all 3 rounds. And it seemed like all of the 41s did, but they didn't. They were very strategic and they were very smart about how they did it. And I can't hold that against them at all. They were very smart about it.
What
But,
if three nations ganged up on 255?
well, I mean, I think that's what happens in GC for them anyways. Like,
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, Woody. Nobody
no,
tries against them. No, come on,
no.
man. Every season they talk about how they save resources.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that because I remember
No,
50. I remember Nation 52
back in
saying
the
they
day, but
fought.
not the last 4 or 5.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
And to say there'd be like a GC champion, I mean that's totally unfair. You can't expect these younger nations to bring 250 people per round, which 255s. I mean they're obviously, older. They've got the people. They've got backups to play. They got everything. They got it down to a science. That's why they're good. But nobody else can bring 250 people unless you're a lock nation for 3 rounds. Think about that.
But
That's
if we're
impressive.
honest, Tip, is it really not fair? Like you made it there to begin with, so you just got to continue to fight through adversity and prove
Yeah, but
that you
there's a
belong
difference
there.
in fighting 100 versus 100, and there's a difference in fighting 250 for 3 different rounds. That's immense. You just can't. I mean, you just can't. It's not
Some
possible, bro.
some of these nations don't even have 250 people in the
Yeah,
nation.
they can't even get 250 in 1 round, let alone 3. And you could pick any of the top ones. I mean, there are very few nations in this game that can actually do that. And I don't even know who they are, but except for 255. But I'm sure there's a couple more, but they can't compete with them. It's just not possible.
I mean, 858 did bring 250 to a couple of rounds.
Yeah, but you got
But
to bring all
but
3.
yeah, but they're not. I mean, there was like C24s and C30s, and
Yeah,
it
but
was it wasn't
imagine if you had 250. You say you split the points in the first 2 rounds, or say you beat them by 5K the first 2 rounds. Then the third round they got another 250, and they take all 45,000 points because, like you said, all you have is C30s now.
exactly.
You can't compete. I mean, it is what it is. You just can't compete.
You're right.
Yeah, it is.
I
But
mean,
I
it'd
mean,
be it'd be neat to see, but it would be
Yeah.
really ugly at the end of it.
so so so
They would win for sure.
so my opinion of how this can change is if and it all comes down to merger. If Camel started doing like those mega mergers like we just seen this past one, and they start mixing these, even farmers are going to have to count too at this point, or free to play players at this point too, and they start mixing it in. I think in the long run they might be able to come with the everyone that makes that can come with the 250. But that again would take Camel to do what they got to do to make that happen.
Has anybody checked the Lock Nations the last few days?
No.
Nope.
I say that respectfully because I mean I'm probably saying more than I should, but there was a rumor that this merger cycle was theirs.
Whoa. Let's
So I
see.
don't know if it's true. I don't have any, other than a couple of chats. I don't have any proof. I haven't checked. I don't know, but that's what I was told. I would assume that would happen now, but I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm looking at Ronaldo's and they still have the same 41s.
Yeah, but I don't know. Chaos Line would have been yesterday or today if it happened. and then they'd have to merge the nation.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Which
Why don't you
so I don't know.
why don't you reach
I don't
out to
know.
them, man? You're friends with them. Just ask them.
Yeah, I might.
You kind
I
of
might get-
set yourself up for that one.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I was kind of hoping to see if it did because I know I'd like to see them come back. I mean, we all know the Chinese nations aren't the original Chinese nations like they used to be. You know, we used to
No.
fear them. I mean, we did. We used to fear them. Don't fool yourself. If you didn't ever experience that, believe me, it was a fear. Everybody who ever fought up against them, you know, it was tough. But they're not that way anymore. But it'd be nice to see. It'd be nice to see them come back too. Change the game up, make it more. You know what I mean? Make it fun again.
I would. Well, here's a problem. You got a lot of these lock nations that they don't even fight. Like for instance, that the 722 went into 895. The numbers look like they should have won it. If they tried and showed up, they should have won, and they didn't. I mean, don't get it wrong. You had 910, 904, 908, all them people, cock blocking them. But with the numbers, they still should have won. You know what I mean? They should have won, but they didn't. So that tells me that although they might have fought, I don't think numbers were there.
Well, there's a few select mergers that would make that a difference,
Right. Because I remember,
and they would fight.
I remember
That
we
I'm sure.
we were going over to GC, and it looked like 722, and showed up like 120 people on one round, 50, or I'm sorry, 895 only showed up like 60 the next round, and like 89 the next. Like it was lost before it even started at that point. Because I
If I was
guarantee.
talking to somebody, oh sorry, where do you go?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was talking to somebody about this today. Who are the couple? If you had to pick, like, what are the mergers that are game changers for lock nations? I have my ideas, but I'm
I would
curious.
say that no, for sure. I would say, I mean, there's rumor that for those who know him, there's rumors that Monkey King would like to come back. So that would be interesting. I don't know where he'd go. I don't know if he'd go back to his original nation. I don't know, but there's rumors that he would like to come back. There's also the one merger that they are pushing for super hard is 693 and 528. If that happened, they're like super gung ho about it. And anybody who's played 528, they're a well disciplined nation. They just don't have the participation as much yet because the whales have all kind of sidestepped until they get a merger. They went on strike for the longest time, and Ronaldo is pushing incredibly hard for them. So that's the one I would expect, but never say never.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I would have pegged as that could be a difference maker. I mean, one of the things that anecdotally, my impression of playing Lock Nations was they run out of gas later in the rounds, but they're just not as quick to like retake a tower and that sort of thing. They're just, like half a step behind a well-disciplined unlock nation. But 528 is almost the exception to that rule. Like they're the closest to playing an unlocked nation out of the locked nations. Was my kind of impression of playing them in EW and GC and that sort of thing.
And then you add the Ronaldo Treehouse and those guys to that. I mean, you were telling me, Bird, you were telling me, or actually someone for 621 was telling me, when they fought Ronaldo, every time they hit him, or when he hit them, it was like a 40-day heal. Like, everyone was dying. And they just had to freaking heal it and go back again. And he was doing it with 5 fleets. Like, he was killing 5-6 million troops per hit.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't, whether he could or couldn't, he was not trying for nation points. He was going purely to get the max individual, at least when I played him. And 621's a great nation to rack up an individual score because we were deep, you know what I mean? And we were going for nation points. So it's funny you say that. We were in the process of developing like an anti-Ronaldo scheme, but ended up retiring before that came to pass. But yeah, he's miserable to play in GC. And he would lose troops, right? And I was scouting him throughout the 90-minute round because I was like, as soon as this motherfucker drops below a certain troop point, we're going for him. We might lose, but fuck it, let's go for it. And every time I thought he was getting close to the line that I had in my mind,
What was this
that
line?
motherfucker
What
full
was
healed.
what was the line?
30 million troops.
So right around 400 million BP.
Yeah, Ronaldo keeps like 10 to 20,000 days heal every given day. He's got immense
God,
resources.
can you imagine?
He has
No,
immense resources, man. I have a picture of it
he's
somewhere I
smart.
could show
He
you.
didn't want to get posterized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
For sure.
He wasn't going to give us that shot. But I seriously, I was watching him, and I was watching that troop count because, like, even the battles he won, he was losing troops on them, especially on his like 3 through 5 fleet that doesn't have a Titan with it. And that was before, at least when I played them, that was before like the warplane equipment was a major deal, and so the planes were weaker, so they couldn't carry the same sort of fronts that they could, nowadays. I was watching him, and he kept healing, and I was like, "God damn it, Ronaldo! Just give us one shot at it, you motherfucker!" But
He's
sorry,
got-
Woody. I don't mean to curse so much on the
He's
official
got 5 fully maxed planes now.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
tough.
there's a chance even down to 30 million troops. There's a chance we lose that battle. But even if you're gonna lose, you don't not take that swing. You know?
I think you win. I think you win if he doesn't have any reinforcements, to be honest.
Reinforcements or Titans?
Yeah, if you because you're going to kill the Titans quick. Keep that in mind. But I think you win if he doesn't have reinforcements. But he'd have at least anywhere from 10 to 15, which would mean you'd lose the battle.
You know, it's interesting because it was a round that is not traditionally high attendance for Lock Nations. Like what he and Treehouse did against us when I played them, at least, is they split, right? So there was one round where it was both of them, but then each had a round where they were solo. I think he was soloing the round 3. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that, but he was soloing in a round that was not well attended. But yeah, we never got a shot, so it's all water under the bridge. But I was watching. I kept checking. I was like, oh man, he's getting close. He's getting close. And he full healed twice. Motherfucker full healed twice.
Oh my God. Oh my
But
God.
he probably didn't even put a scratch in his resources either. That's the crazy part.
That was probably like 1,000 days worth of heals, if not more.
Oh, more, buddy. More. Yeah, I bet it was more.
Probably like 5,000
Yeah.
days worth of heals. I mean,
He's got so much resources. It's absolutely insane.
you go from 850 million BP, and that magic number would have been around 400 to 450. That's a lot of fucking heals.
I mean, he could literally
Gee, that's a lot
match
of
3 or
heals.
4 officers, Woody, if they came out today. To put it in perspective,
That's crazy.
it's insane. His resources.
I know that when
Outside of him in Treehouse, that they're not, like, I know they're not deep, but I've heard that it's a pretty big drop off. Someone was telling me today that like their number 3 player has only like 15 million in officer power, which is pretty low for a number 3 city. I knew that they didn't have depth. I didn't realize that it kind of dropped off of a cliff after the top 2.
well, let's check and see how bad of a drop it is. In officers, yeah, 33 to 30. Oh yeah, that's a huge drop. 13 million drop.
Well, a lot of that's fake too. Keep in mind, he's got 2.5 million fake, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 million fake. 30 million is right around max officers, unless you do Doc and Medici, Fat Medici.
I think though the key point is what's the number for the number 3 city, Woody?
At 20?
20 million. That's
20
a lot.
million?
As bad as I thought it was.
But a lot of that's gone up,
That's-
Bird, since when you
that's
played, because a
still-
lot of that is the antiques.
20
Keep that in
million.
mind.
Yeah, but
So
antiques have their,
you were probably right 6 months ago.
antiques is still, they got their own ranking system. So this is just pure.
Okay, well maybe it's officer skins. Sorry.
It might be the skins, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not the skins, but the equipment, officer equipment. Sorry. It said the
Oh
rank.
yeah,
Wrong thing.
the equipment. Yeah, that's.
That's
Oh
probably-
yeah.
It doesn't take much to get to level 10 on all those, and that can make a big difference.
I know I was at 20, 23, and I was at like 2,300 flat. So
Yeah, those
I
stats
mean,
are amazing.
What does the antique screen look like for that nation?
all right, let's go look.
What is-
Ronaldo's losing? Treehouse is better.
Ooh, that's funny.
Is 200,000 like? Is that a mid spender, a good score?
A below, I'd say right at average or below a little
yeah,
bit.
that's yeah.
So to me, that says like they don't
Those are
they
level
don't have any
10.
sharks behind the whales. You know what I mean?
So they got the whole their issues, the same issue that all the unlocked nations got.
But that's why they want 528. 528 brings the depth.
Yeah.
Along with the additional whales.
Man, I don't know.
No. I hear that. And listen, any nation would be lucky. Any lock nation would be lucky to pick up Ronaldo and Treehouse. Like, no disrespect to them. I'm just wondering. The question that I was asked today, or that we were discussing today in another chat, was: does it actually become a game changer? Like, with the kind of top end depth that some of the top end nations have now, you know, to your point, Tip, the history used to be Camel they would merge lock nations faster, to the point where like 457 had 2 merges before we had our first one. And so they would artificially create a top end depth. Now, I think Camel has kind of painted themselves into a corner. They're not going to break their 2 nation merges for the lock nations. The community would be in uproar over that. So if it's just Ronaldo, even with a 528, who I agree was like one of the best run lock nations, do they have the top end and the depth to compete with the current top nations?
From what I understand, there's a lot of people that are going to come back, and they will be. That's the part of the equation that I was referring to.
So you could pick up like a Monkey King and a Pikachu, and then they would take a lower city and then max it up.
That is correct.
I feel
they take mediocre 41s that they got over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would max those. Yes.
I feel I can see Camel merging 528 and 629. I can see that
6-3,
happening.
693. 693.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Absolutely.
I can 100% see that happening.
Better hope
because I mean you think about it.
Not.
You think about you think about it. Camel's been merging some of the nations that are unlocked, that making super nations.
It would bring back Lock Nation. It would put them back in the realm of competition again.
Yeah, and they
deserve it. I mean, I really mean that. They deserve it. Why don't they? I mean, we just created a monster nation out of thin air. I mean, and now they're stomping everybody in polar. So they deserve it too. I mean, I'm just being honest. It'll make the game even more fun.
You're not wrong. It would make it funner. Let's check out Pi 28. See what they got cooking. 1641s up to 2140s. That'd be a monster nation. Jesus Christ. I mean, they would be able to compete against nations like 255 at that point. Because, I mean, if you think about it, 255 got what the 30-something or 20-something, probably more now, 41s, and up to like 53 freaking 40s. It would put them right up to where like 255's at. They'd be able to compete. I don't see, they wouldn't see each other in GC, no, never. But that would be a compatible nation. But man, that combination between Ronaldo and Treehouse, man, that's hard.
Question I always had with that, because the 693 and 528 has been a topic for a while.
Yeah.
Question I always had was would they go up to 693 or go down to 528? And your gut reaction would be you go up in nation number, right? Except for the feud between LG and Ronaldo. And 528 is in 425's GC.
Yeah, but I feel that 528 would. I mean, no, 528's not in Ronaldo's GC, is he? I thought that 528 was. I thought 528 was in the 621 GC.
They used to be, but not anymore.
Okay,
with merges, they got dropped down into LG's bracket.
Well, there was only one nation that got that merge back then. So you mean to tell me that they were on the brink of of dropping down by only one nation for the longest time, and they finally it happened.
I think that it wasn't their merge; it was the merges of nations below them that pushed them down.
Well, yeah, it has definitely to be a nation below them, but I think the closest nation that got a merger below that was in the 600s, wasn't it, or was it 500s?
I'm not sure how it worked out, but I know that LG has said 528 is in their GC bracket and has been for a while.
Okay. I mean, Ligot said it, so I mean, obviously he sees them, so I mean, he can't. It is definitely in their bracket
Tip,
if he's
that's right.
fighting them.
Correct? I don't remember 528. 528 was in the bracket for 621 once, I think, before I was there.
Yeah, they
But
were
I
in the,
think
they were in
528
the
moved down.
bracket. They were in the bracket when it was 3 locked nations versus 6-1, and you guys still were able to pull the win.
No, that was 635, 693, and 555.
Oh, 555. My bad. You're right. 555. I forgot about
Yeah,
that nation.
555 was the
The mega super nation.
that was the master plan that was discussed. Is 555 is supposed to take the win.
I wonder how much the Chinese gambling people back then, how much they lost on that GC after it was stacked to win, and I mean stacked, and they still lost. And I mean, congratulations on that win. Don't get me wrong, but man, that it was stacked to where it looked like they were going to win, no matter which way you looked at it.
I mean, it looked unwinnable.
Yeah,
And, you know, but
but
you know, we outmaneuvered them. It was kind of a one-time trick because it was a single shot plan because it wasn't going to work again. But it worked in our favor that they were confident in the win as they should have been with the lineup and the nations they had against us.
right. Now it's right here. Holbrook posted they are in. They are in.
Yeah, to the last one.
Yeah,
Yeah, they barely moved down.
I feel that they would move up. 528 would definitely move to 693. And honestly, I don't think Ronaldo will allow them to take 528. I think that Ronaldo like no, the whole Eagle thing would come into play.
It's interesting though because I agree with you that he would dictate, but the only reason to go to 528 is to face Lead God. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
The only way, to me, it would make sense to go to 693, but we know Ronaldo and Lead God don't get along, and it would put them in the same GC bracket if they move down. That's what's that's always been the interesting question to me. Because I agree with you. 693 is the way to go, but if Ronaldo says, "Hey, no, I want to go play GC against Lead God because I got a bone to pick with him," then he's the only one I could see shifting that conversation.
Yeah, but I don't feel that. I don't feel that Ronaldo would use GC as a payback to get League God. I feel that it would be more Elite War that he would try to do payback if that was the case.
For the record,
And yeah, from
Bird was right.
What?
You'll make me say that, but Bird was right.
So he would move it just for that Ronaldo that. Okay then.
In an LG Ronaldo dispute, if I'm Ronaldo and I get a good merge, I'm trying to take all the crowns from Lead God. Their beef is personal.
That I said the same thing Bird said, and I asked, and I'll just say Bird's right.
Jeez.
Oh my God. Pigs are flying across the window, Tip.
You ain't lying, bro. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Oh, shit. There we go. That's what I needed.
You can't take it back now, Tip. Even I heard it.
I corrected it. I politically corrected it.
Oh, boy. And it was live, too. Oh, poor Tip. Poor Tip.
But yeah, that if it did happen, that's what would happen. Just so you know.
So, from the YouTube chat saying, what are your own nations preparing for the big civil war? That 790 will be starting a civil war soon. What the hell does that mean? Well, they're all in bubbles, so maybe, maybe. I don't know what it's about, but they are all in bubbles. Well, where is the? That is interesting. Yeah, they're all in bubbles too. Even Scuba Steve. Oh no, Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve is ported in the middle of their hive.
Looks like fun.
Oh yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen. I mean, you can see they're sending out troops right now. So maybe there's gonna be an attack soon. Maybe.
So I couldn't really talk earlier, but I think the game has changed and people need to change their tactics. And I think one of the ways that Camel listened to feedback was like, if you're stuck in a civil war nation, you're kind of screwed. And they started emphasizing the alliance events, because even if I don't agree with some things Ghost said, he's a smart guy and he said some smart things. And organizing an entire nation is ridiculous. But you can organize an entire alliance to play some alliance events, and then you can just have Civil War and play Void every day.
I mean, that's true. Until you run out of troops. Either play Civil War every day or spend the money on bubbles.
I mean, I'm not recommending this. This is not a good way to go. You're going to slow down your nation. I know from experience. But if you can't get over some stuff, you can just have Civil War until people figure out this is a stupid way to play. And while you're playing Civil War, you can still be ranked top 10 in bowler.
True. Just for the record, all these freaking people that send me private messages know me and Holbrook don't have any beef. We know each other. We're all good. Yes, we have banter, and yes, we disagree maybe on certain things, but no, we don't hate each other. No, we're not gonna go after each other. Stupid people. But yeah, Holbrook, like I said, bro, there's no bad blood between me and you.
No, we're good, man. I didn't even know you were still on. I would have said that whether you were on or not.
I'm listening.
You're a smart guy.
No, I agree what you say, bro. Like I said, Civil War sucks, and at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. I just hope people don't make the same mistakes as me. But you're right. You can play alliance events, and yeah, Polar is one of the biggest one. But again, it comes down to getting hard-headed people into an alliance that might not like the other guy. Like for example, I think we played. Is it Potatoes Nation the other day? 1-6 something. So you've got Potato and you've got another lady called Chiro, I think. So they have two massive alliances, but they don't. If they both merged into one alliance, they'll probably eat most people that they fight, but they don't. And I don't know what the reasons behind it is, but it's things like that. It's like you have these nations that you fight that have like super players in Alliance 1, Alliance 2, Alliance 3. I've seen it across three different alliances. And it's like you sit there and I'm like, if you were actually in one alliance, the three of you super players, you could actually technically zero me if you hit me. Do you see? So it's these things that people have tried and obviously clearly couldn't resolve it. And that's what causes the tension and the annoyance is people don't want to put in the things in the past and evolve with the game. Like you said, you evolve with the game, you move with the game, and that's the problem. People don't want to kind of move on and forget the past.
I wouldn't argue with anything you just said, but just for anybody that doesn't know, I think it's a 3 billion cap to be. If you're above 3 billion battle power, then you're in your alliance. Then you go to the like you'll fight 255, you'll fight 910. I think if you're under that number, then you play basically like the lower levels, so you'll never fight the big nations.
You
So
mean
you can have it.
Alliance BP or Nation BP?
Yeah. Alliance BP. So you can be in a civil war, and if your alliance and be divided, and if your alliance BP is low, then you'll never face those tough nations. So you can literally get a top 10 ranking without ever playing anyone that's worth.
Is that not based on like and you're talking about are you talking about Elite War or Void War? Sorry, mate.
I'm
What was
talking
that?
about polar. I'm talking about polar, and
Polar.
the way that you can verify it is if you
The
go to
game basically. Okay.
if you go to the top 10 of polar, start
Yeah.
clicking on those alliances, every alliance will be ranked like, either number 1, number 2, or 14 and then on down.
Yeah.
Click on everything between like 2 and 14 and you're going to find small alliances.
But
And
Like
doesn't
this
it
one right
base it
here.
on
Like
like doesn't it base sorry guys, doesn't it base it on points and wins and
no,
stuff like that?
no. I emailed VIP and I said, this is ridiculous. Let me fight these alliances. Like, one of these alliances has 26 people in it, and they're ranked. This was like last season, at the end of last season, 11, and we were ranked 13. And I was like, this makes no sense. This is ridiculous.
look,
Let me fight these people. And they were like, nope, it's a separate league. You're not in that league. You're in like the higher battle power league.
look at it.
Oh wow.
Look at this. Like 1141, they're in third place overall the entire polar, and they're at 2.6. With only 83 people in their alliance.
So could you essentially drop your
I
alliances
mean,
BP
are you,
before they
Yes.
do the matchup?
I mean, you
Yes.
could, but I mean, do you really? I mean, 2.6 billion. I mean, that's like for like all those 41s. You're talking about maybe 2 fleets, 3 fleets total, if that.
No, just take out all your equipment and shit.
I mean, you're gonna have to hold it. You're gonna have to hold that freaking that BP number for your alliance for the entire time.
Yeah, but if you're in Civil War, your BP is probably low. You're probably good.
Oh yeah, if you're Civil War, most people would be zeroed out or whatever, right? So I guess and would lose troops. So yeah, then your BP would be low. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that does make sense.
I think Poland in general is just ridiculously expensive, man. It's just like
This game
people
is
just
ridiculous. This
people
game
just
is
yeah, but it's
ridiculously
just
expensive.
polar, man. It's like people speed across the map like it's nothing, like like it's water.
Well, yeah, that's so. I mean, you think about Gasline, you do the same thing. GC Global Conquest, it's literally one round of GC versus one round of Polar. I'll be honest, is I think in my eyes, I've been through more of my bag in one round of GC than I have ever in Polar. Ever in Polar. When I first went to 736, one round of GC, I went through 1 million gold, all my speeds, all my ports in one round. Now, don't get me wrong, I killed a lot of people, but and it all depends what kind of player you are too. I get that. Man, I think GC is probably, if you're active and you're trying to win against other very strong nations, if it was like compatible, like everyone's really trying to compete, I think GC would be more expensive than Polar. But it only happens once every 4 months. Polar's
I think most people, I
once a
think most
week.
people like if you won GC right, I think they don't really bother anymore. Or am I wrong? Like if you've won it
Well,
like
I mean,
once or twice.
you win GC once. Now you're the title holder, so now you got to defend your title. And if you win it twice, you defend it again. I think it comes down to where after you start winning it 4 times in a row, you're just like, okay, it don't matter to us anymore. We've got that 4-peat. We're the Bulls. We're the Chicago Bulls. We got that. We're that 5-peat. We got that. We
Yeah.
got those rings. And at that point, and be honest, at that point, I think Camel would be like, okay, now we got to set something up to where they can't just keep winning it. I mean, I think the only nations that are able to do that right now is possibly 255. But unfortunately, I think that something's going to. If GC hasn't showed up and it doesn't show up anytime soon, Camel either A are up to something with GC, or they just DC GC altogether.
Hey,
So
what about you
what did they
take?
replace it with?
What
Sorry,
about you
dude.
take the top three nations out of each globe and have a universal?
Meaning,
Like you take the top three nations out of each globe and have a universal.
well, I mean, yeah, that's what we talked about that earlier about doing
Uh,
that.
That would be crazy.
But having like for say GCs counting, you know how they have the 3 brackets per year, the 3 GCs. First bracket winner go. I would figure you would figure every bracket or every globe would at the very last one of the year, or maybe at the very last after finals, they have one championship ones where all the winners from each GC globe um, fought each other off in one big championship versus finals you win and you're a champion. Will make it go one step further. That would be
Yeah,
that would be kind of epic. But then we got into the talk that there would be just 250 in each round from 255, and they would just overpower it with just pure numbers in general.
Holbrook, are you online? Are you talking now? Or are you still in your Uber?
No, I can talk now.
So,
What's up?
No, I was just saying, you know what me and Woody were discussing earlier? So, I know Polar's, obviously, I think you mentioned in chat, Polar's one of the most expensive game, but people are clearing out their whole friggin' wallet for it. What's the second one? Is it Elite War?
The most expensive or the most fun right now?
The most successful. Well, not expensive or fun. I would say the most successful, I guess.
Most activity.
Most active event is Polar and what?
Elite War.
Yeah, I mean, in my personal opinion, and for the people that like to talk about this stuff, I think Polar and Elite War are the most popular. But my other opinion is like 85% of the game doesn't care at all, and they're just happily playing and losing and winning, and they don't know anything about us.
Going back to the conversation me and Woody had about how would you, because you're a knowledgeable guy, you speak to a lot of people. So how would you make the game better? I know you say people need to adapt, right? But you still got to give the people something, right? So what would you do?
I have split opinions on this too. I just don't think they care, and they're not listening to us. So I don't really try to talk about it.
We all know that, but they don't give a shit. But then how do you make them give a shit?
I don't think you can make them give a shit. I think, I don't think they care. I think they just will keep releasing new events. I think everything is easily solvable if they wanted to. I've written my VIP and said, for example, Wasteland is a great event with terrible matching. Nobody's ever going to play this event. Make it a challenge event like Elite Wars so that we can get real opponents and we'll play it. Okay. And they did apparently get enough feedback. I don't know if it was verbal or financial feedback, as in no one plays that event anymore. Yeah. But they said they've tried to make the matching better. So I think the kind of like when people don't spend on an event, that's when maybe they'll actually look at it. I don't think fixing kill event is hard. I just don't think they want to. I would just reference how much fun everybody has in Chaos Land. And as you guys said earlier, people love Chaos Land. But I think people love Chaos Land because they can speed like a whale. And so it's as easy as fixing KE. It's as easy as just putting in KE speeds and giving a bunch so that everyone can just go wild. And okay, now like they would never do that because we spend so much on speeds. True. But if you had unlimited speeds or something similar, you'd spend a lot more on heals. And everybody would spend a lot more because there would be action and the event would be fun. It would be, I think it would literally be that easy. Just free kill event speeds. But I don't think Camel cares.
You'd have to give something to get people to spend. And you're right. Yeah, if you give the speeds, then people will spend on heals, I guess. But you're right. I don't think
what is Camel's biggest moneymaker? Speeds.
I think they should do speeds based off city level. In other words, make the expense based off city level. If you're 41, fine, keep it 500. If you're 40, drop it $50 for every level after that or whatever. Or $50 or 50 gold.
Yeah, I don't think it's a hard to solve problem. Just like all the extra stuff in Tip's bag. Everybody always complains about like, what are you supposed to do with that stuff in your bag? Every event where you win something to give out, like when Tip wins Void Tyrant, as part of that, he could theoretically select like, instead of giving the regular prizes, I want to give, titanium stones or whatever, to the Titan stones. It's an easily solvable thing, and it's even easily rate limited. We're not even talking about you have to buy a pack to give away your stuff. Literally just like upgrade the gifts that you're already giving just to give away your stuff. All of this stuff is easy. It's just that they have a model that's working, and so it's really. I have this opinion so strongly because of Wasteland. It's such a good event. All they have to do is fix the matching. They made up this faction thing no one cares about or knows about, and now no one even shows up for the event, and they don't seem to be doing much about it. So
Yes, definitely no
Someone's
matchmaking.
lining their pockets, right? So I guess as long as the sales are up and the money's in, they don't really care, right?
I mean,
That's any
I
business.
mean, in
that's
sales, I
what it
mean,
feels like.
in sales, I mean, I guess I can't really talk about the whole. We can't really talk about the whole sales thing with the corporation
Yeah.
because that's their business. But what I can say is, you know, speeds are definitely the most expensive thing in the game that everyone gets. It's a for sure thing that people are going to get in general. Now, let's leave the mega whales out there because the mega whales just buy in a store. They literally just buy in a store. It is what it is. We're not going to stop it. We can cry all we want. Never going to happen. They're going to continue to spend. But the speeds for the speeds, heals, ports for everyone else. That's what make or break if they're going to even show up.
But you can play You can play the Wasteland without speeds. You can play Polar without speeds. You can play GC
yeah,
without speeds.
yeah.
You can't
Wasteland.
even play KE without speeds.
No, you can't.
Oh, yeah, no, you'll get killed.
No, you
That's
can't.
just suicide.
No, you
Speaking
can't.
of useless rewards, you know this new thing that they've got? That little thing near the Ferris wheel, near the uranium mine, the Dawn Trials, whatever it's called.
Oh, I mean,
Like,
it's useless for you, but it's very helpful for players that don't
no,
got
but
anything yet.
I've seen a lot of the stuff they give in there, bro. Like I've got coins and I've literally got nothing to buy. Like none of the stuff I
Well,
can
yeah.
buy. That
Well, yeah. For you, it's it's garbage. But for the players that aren't maxed out yet and they're still working on that, this is super. This is huge for them.
who's still working on blueprint chests? Like
New,
genuinely.
you'd be surprised. You'd
Wow.
be very surprised.
So another thing I was gonna say, there's one of these. Sorry, I just want to get some feedback. So one of these events they have is it alloy equipment round.
Yeah, this one.
Have you got past the second friggin' plane? Or is there like a specific formation for that? Because I can't get past. After I kill the first plane,
Every
I can't get past the second plane.
every one of these things have a special formation.
Has anyone released any of these?
No one's released what they are. I don't even know what they are. But I know that we were tinkering around with formations, and I did notice when I use a different formation for such as like the 253 formation for it, it did much better than what we would use for like different ones.
Well, all these formation makers of these people that create all these documents, maybe this is something for you guys to work on. Like, genuinely, some of these rounds are like ludicrous. Like, I've spent so much,
Well, I mean,
attempt.
if you look at it, a lot of these rounds are meant for when you attack. When you attack, and your titans are already out. So some of these things you can't bring your titans into it. So
No.
now you got to figure out a formation to where you can't bring your titans in.
Mm.
So on and so forth. Not saying all of them are like that, but I think which one was it? Commander Outposts. I think you can't bring your, or maybe it's Allo. I forget which one it is. No, it's Air Sweep. You can't bring your Titans with it. So now you gotta
Mm.
now you gotta adjust your fleets around to try to get the best. So when you figure out what the best is, yeah, I get you can't have as many troops, but you can take whatever troop type you got, the formation off that without the Titans, and just add what's missing to it from like the buff, and then when you can set that as one of your attacks. So when you attack, you know that that's your strongest attack without your Titans that you can put out there. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
it's not costing anything. People are just using this as something like, well, it's just for the gifts and stuff like that. But in reality, little things like this are meant to be tested out for, attacks without your Titans, like the second fleet,
Mm.
third fleet, fourth fleet, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I guess you're right, actually. Yeah.
Go. Are you having a problem with any of them other than the Titan? Sorry,
Not,
the plane.
not all of them, like literally all of them. I don't, like I said, I don't really play much, right? So I just log in, send anything, and it clears the board. It's really winding me up the fact that I can't even get past the second plane. And I'm like, dude, there must be people out there who's getting like to the third or the fourth or the fifth plane or clearing the board. Has anyone even cleared the board that anyone knows of
Oh yeah.
on the plane, just the plane?
Oh
I
yeah.
auto fleet the whole thing. That's why I'm
Yeah.
surprised you're having trouble.
Dude, I can't get past the second plane. Like I just die, and I'm not a weak C, so I'm weak. I'm just confused. Maybe my plane
Yeah.
just
Right here,
sucks.
you got
Probably.
not me. I'm at 249, but you got Genghis, you have Mental, you have Lana, you have Qatar, you have Mick. You
So
know,
there must be a special formation to
yeah.
clear that
Everything has
round.
to, everything has to do formation.
Well, if anyone
And
has any pointers,
I
please
know
share. I'm
the 2-5-3 formations was working very well um, in a lot of these. But you have
okay.
to adjust it. You have to adjust the 2-5-3 formation to where you can only bring what is it 400,000 troops. So you have to adjust it down. So
Yeah.
let's say if you normally bring in, let's say 45, we'll just say you're normally bringing 50,000 tanks, but you're gonna have to adjust that down to like 30,000 or maybe 40,000, so on and so forth, to fit the 2-5-3 formation.
Yeah, dude, like when I was fighting this plane, right, I tried copying its formation. I tried putting more tanks. I tried putting less tanks. He bloody just ate me up like I was nothing. Like literally took it out. And I'm just like, damn, like, is this warplane really that strong? Like to actually take me out? Or maybe I'm missing something.
Is the video still broken too?
Is what, sorry?
I think so.
The video replays on these were broken for a while. I never, again, I auto fleet this thing, so I can't really help a lot, unfortunately. But somebody was saying that you'll win the fight and then you'll see the report and you'll have lost. And then you can change like one troop and then you would lose the fight, but then actually win. And it was the response that I was given from the person telling the story was like, even VIP said basically like, yeah, don't even watch the replay. The replay's wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember I was live and that shit happened. I'm like, wait a minute, I should have won that. Like, I still have troops. My Titans are still up and everything. But yeah, it's definitely broken still.
So I mean, that's hard. It's hard to fix your fleet when you can't even watch the battle.
You got a point there, yeah. You do got a
I
point
think
there.
this one, like you guys said, this event's just for I guess the catch up people who get the extra little
For sure.
items, right? All
Oh
these
yeah,
little items that they get.
oh
But
yeah,
yeah, I
for
think
sure.
Holbrook was right. If you can gift a lot of these things, would actually make things better. I guess like so many, like I'm pretty sure most of us who are maxed out in certain areas have probably got like thousands and thousands of things that we don't even know what the hell to do with it.
I mean, they have right now where you can buy something to give away gold, and it takes from your gold and it gives to your alliance.
Oh, I've seen that.
This
Is
isn't
that
a
on
tech.
I
I'm
will.
just talking about the regular weekly pack, and
I will.
that's why I'm saying like this is not a technical problem that's hard to solve. They
I
don't
will.
want to do it.
I
I
will.
think there's a lot. I think they've got solutions for a lot of the things, but I think it's the phrase, isn't it? If it's not broke, why try fix it, kind of thing. And if it's making them money in other events, I guess they're not gonna. I guess they probably will at some point if they have to. But I think the reality is the way the game's heading. I think Void or Kill event is probably just gonna die out, and everything else will just take over.
I still think this right here for what you spend and the rewards that come with it is the best spend event there is.
It's a damn expensive event, though.
Yes,
A very expensive
but
event.
if you compare this one to like the Titan wheel, every last one of these items that are on this is awesome.
Mm.
You don't get shitty, like those the mineral freaking things or the oil things. Every one of these, you got the dyes, you got for phosphor equipment, plane equipment. Every one of these things is just if you were trying to push. And like, let's say that you feel like you want to drop something like it's pretty heavy. This would be something to push.
Yeah, I think this one just doesn't give you the dice, right? Man, that's another thing. This dice thing is causing so many issues. You get the dice if you're top five, right?
Well,
For some of these spend events where you get the dice so you can do your little
The crack rock.
Yeah, the crack
The,
rock.
cra- the
No,
dude, I remember.
these don't give the crack rocks. It gives
Yeah,
you
these don't
the
give it. Some of the events do. Dude, I was playing the other day and I was trying to get it on the. I think it was one of the marble event or whatever it was, right? And I did my spins and I left it. I came back like 2 days later and I was like, what the hell? Why am I 16th? So then there's me trying to, when some people try and do it at the last minute. I think Mental got done over one time by someone and he lost his shit because they kicked him out
yeah.
of fifth.
I remember that one. So that was the racing event.
Yeah.
I remember that,
Someone took it.
and
Someone took it at the last
it was
minute.
nation. It was the four DK cities in 1111 that did that, and he was not happy.
So I heard about that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna, go in, let's say half an hour before. And then I would like buy a little pack, and then someone would just immediately kick me. And I was like, I've had enough of
Well,
this shit, man.
so
I ain't even.
here's the key to those things if you're trying to, and we call it sniping. So you wait. You're gonna want to buy as many packs as you possibly can if you're trying to snipe for that crack rock, right? And then you just steadily sit in the top 10. You don't want to go below that. Sit in the top 10, and the last 10 minutes of that event, you start sniping points to get to that top three or whatever, or actually just to get the top 10, because the top 10 is where you get that rock.
No,
Uh,
it's top five actually. That
top,
gives it to
it's
you.
no, it's top 10. It's top
Is it top?
10.
I'm sorry, yeah,
It's
5 to 10, one,
yeah.
2, 3, and then
Now,
4.
and I always
No?
try the best event to get the crack rock would probably beat the meat event. So when you're beating a bear up,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
that would probably be the
I'll be,
best
I'll be, I'll
win
be
to
honest.
do.
I came out of my own solution. I was like, because I tried it a couple of times, and I was like, "Fuck this shit! I can't be asked waiting until." Because for me, it's like 1 in the morning when it's reset, right? And I was like, "Fuck this shit!" So
Well,
I just was like, "Just like fuck."
if you really wanted it, I mean, there we
No, I
do.
just, but I just go take second place or third place and let
Right.
3, 4, and 5 fight it out because they usually don't come out second or
Well,
third. It's usually the last couple of ones that are fighting. So I'm like, fuck this shit, man. I ain't got time. Just buy as many, go second or third. They ain't gonna kick me out, and it usually works.
You can,
like in this event, I don't know what are your awards. So they get 160, 150 for the top three. So I mean, they're getting all the way up to the 50. So if they want, I would say people will probably snipe for the top three because of the 140 versus only 50. I mean, that's a huge jump in these. It's a big jump. With that being said, I mean, you can see in the last 20 minutes, not saying Mick would because I know Mick's here, but if he really wanted to get that much, he would snipe in the last 10 minutes to jump up to 5,000,
Hmm.
which is a lot. I mean, let's be real. It's not cheap at all. Any of these things are not cheap. But if he
It's not.
wanted to,
And these bloody damn crack rocks. Like you gotta get
yeah,
5 of them
if
just
he
for any upgrade.
right, but if he really wanted to, I guarantee you, all these players that are trying to get the top three, they have in their mind that they're getting to that top three no matter what. Those last 10 minutes, they are logging on and they are sniping. They're
I guess it
definitely
depends. I
sniping.
guess it depends on who your competition is as well, right? If you've got quite a few big ego players, then it gets expensive, proper expensive.
Well, I
I
mean,
think the best.
go
I
ahead.
think the best one to get it is the fishing event because spending extra in the fishing event gets you basically nothing. So people don't go nuts on that one.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's
true.
fair. I still think the beat the meat event is probably one of the
Oh
best.
no,
But
we're talking about different things. You're saying like which is a good one to get rewards while
oh yeah,
also
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I agree with you. I'm saying if you just literally want the rock only and you want to waste $100 on fish, you can probably get it for whatever the
Yeah,
max spend is plus.
that fishing event is the most like useless event. I think that one and the block one, the block building
Well,
one. I think they're
that
the two most useless ones.
well, not necessarily, not necessarily. So if you, we all like we've all said before, yeah, the island is people will say if you're not a mega spender, don't don't spend at it because you're talking about a house, two houses, three, four, five houses worth. And I'm talking about real 3 bedroom houses, not just a Barbie doll house. So, but if you look at some of these stuff, like you get the aquarium right there. Let me see. the upgrades on
I
the
think
aquarium.
I think the aquarium comes on the
All
fish one, like
right, but
maxed out.
all of these start adding up, and when it comes to being top level in competition, you know, all these add up, so they all
Oh
matter
yeah,
to those mega whales. They all matter. But for a
yeah.
player such as myself or the average spender, like this is not important. If you, it will build slowly in time. I mean, you might not get these gold like basketball cores and stuff like that, but you'll get all these purple ones and blue ones that still add up. Especially when it comes to fleet expansion. That's I mean that really is what you really want is to expand your fleet nowadays.
But
But I
they've got
mean,
these new things now, right, where they allow you to kind of do events, where they kind of allow you to switch them. Like they give you a selection of what to use it towards now on your island. Was before it was that specific statue or specific bakery, right, or whatever it is. But now, in some of these events, you can choose. Like they allow you to choose with the officers. You know, like Caddy and
well,
the
yeah,
other ones.
well, yeah.
So
That
they're giving more options now.
they're giving more options, yeah. And I mean, people are benefiting off. Shit, I've benefited off of that. I mean, if it's always at level 12 or level 6 to where you get that fleet expansion, and in reality that's all you guys should be trying to get is that fleet expansion or a damage reduction kind of thing on the island. Other than that, don't waste it. If it's literally just going to be like more troops to be healed, I mean that's kind of garbage. That's just, don't worry about that until everything else is done, then just throw it just because you have it, you know what I mean? But everyone should be focused on trying to expand their fleet. Anything that they possibly can, other than like power, like attack, HP, and damage. You, for say the officer equipment right now, everyone should be stopping what you're doing and trying to expand your fleet. Because if you think about it, if you do get a team attack in any event, for say Elite War, those fleets right there are huge. Like it's a huge advantage. This is one of the reasons why 255 is very hard to beat in Elite War. It's because every single one of those players, they got so many more players with more fleet. It's like if you match 20 versus 20, 255 is going to have more fleet, and who's going to win that? The people that's got more troops. Like they might have 3 or 4 million troops more than you just in 20. Now imagine adding 80 to that. So I mean, you're talking about like 10 million more troops. Yeah, they're going to win that. The fleet size is just going to eat that up. Sorry, Reef.
Fuck.
But yeah, fleet right now is pretty OP. And I think
Yeah,
people also need to remember that some of these events, if you're not a huge mega spender like Iron Blood, for instance, or Triangle War or DLD, there are going to be some alliances that they want to do it, and that's fine. If the big players want to support that funding, then by all means show up. They're going to support you. They're going to send you some blue coins to get that gold, so on and so forth. Or they're going to put gold bubbles on you. But for the average player, they should not be spending on those. They should literally be putting that money that they're putting in Triangle War and DoD and putting it into their city.
true.
Because
I think
imagine
that I
this.
think that I think that I think the antique thing was okay for a bit,
Oh,
and then once you
Antique
get
is
a certain level,
no, Antique is so overpowered right now. That
yeah,
Antique is so OP. Like, oh my god, it's so OP. But the wall for the antiques is about 300,000. So once you get to 300,000, that's when things start to get super expensive. So like I've always told people when they start messing with the antiques, get to like 300,000, and then go back to your officer equipment, go back to your Titan, go back to your plane. And I would always say, as an average spender, is each month pick one, push that whatever you're gonna push, and do like just the officers, and then the next month do just the Titans, and then the next month switch it off to just the planes, and then recycle throughout like that. That way you start seeing growth faster. If you're putting, today I'm gonna put a little bit here in the officers, a little bit in the Titans, a little bit in the plane, you're never gonna see growth. And people has told me many times, Woody, I put in like $10,000 into my city this week, and I've only seen like 20 points. Well, yeah, because you're spreading everything around.
Yeah, you need to
You're
kind of.
just,
I think those gemstones are really, really good as well in those offices, like the gemstones and the gold things. Because if you buy the right skills, especially the reduction ones, they actually help quite a lot.
yeah, yeah, they do, they do. But guys, we're 2 hours in. I am gonna end this live, but if you guys want to join me in my server, real quick,